I just started filming and I am ready too hot to wear this, so I think I might take it off to get a little bit comfier. But hello everyone, my name is Olivia and welcome to a book, movie, and thrift haul. I have gotten a lot of books recently that is not included in my 2023 TBR video that I posted before this one, which I will link down below, and I wanted to show you a bunch of books that I recently got in the mail, along with some movie items that I'm very excited about, and some thrifted things that I am so happy that I found. But before we get into the really fun, eclectic haul, be sure to follow me over on Instagram and TikTok because I post there a lot and I post about the things that I recently find, whether I thrift them, whether they're books that I get in the mail, so you can follow me there to get some content that you won't see here, and I post there all the time. So both of those links will be down below. Now I know why you're here. You're probably here for the book, so let's get into the book haul, then we'll do movies, and then we'll do the thrift haul at the end. We're gonna start with a couple of books that I've already read that I hauled and now have for my collection. So the first book that I wanted to show you is These Violent Delights. This was given to me by my friend Jessica for Christmas. I loved this book. It's one of my favorite reads of 2022, and I just wanted a copy to add to my shelf. It is a dark academia novel following Paul and Julian. Paul comes from a very normal middle-class household that is darkened due to the death of his father, and he comes across a boy named Julian at his university, and they form this obsessive, toxic, all-consuming relationship where they are completely enamored by each other, and due to that obsessive feeling that they have for each other, their lives are forever changed. This is such an interesting dark academia that I cannot recommend enough. It's very pompous and pretentious, but full of beautiful writing, and if you're a fan of Hannibal and Will Graham and their type of relationship, then you would greatly enjoy These Violent Delights. Cannot recommend this enough. And I also went through my Kindle and found all the lines that I underlined when I read it through the ebook, and then I underlined it in this book. So I'm so happy I have this now in my personal library because this book left such an impact on me. The next book that I have to haul that I already read and greatly enjoyed is The Sun Does Shine by Anthony Ray Hinton. I read Just Mercy by Bryan Stevenson, who created the Equal Justice Initiative, and he is a lawyer who represents people on death row or people who don't have adequate funds to have proper representation, and he represented Anthony Ray Hinton, who was put on death row for a crime he did not commit. So this memoir recounts his time on death row, the people that he met, the relationships that he formed, the heinous conditions of death row in general. I don't know where I left off because the train interrupted me. But Anthony Ray Hinton is probably one of the most hopeful people that I have ever had the pleasure of reading a memoir about, and he just shared his story in such a raw and authentic way that opened my eyes to the conditions of death row, and I think this is an incredibly important read. I would highly recommend adding this to your memoir TBR because the information that he shared, the experiences that he shared, and the unwavering hopefulness that he had is just absolutely admirable, and I absolutely loved this memoir. So I'm really happy that I was able to find a copy of it on Pango Books, which is a used book app where you can sell books and also purchase books, and I got this for like $3, so it was a steal, and now it's added to my collection, which I'm very happy about. A book that Atrio Books gifted to me over the holiday season that I read and loved, and I'm so happy to add to my Latinx bookshelf, is The Inheritance of Orquídea Divina. Is a wonderfully written magical realism novel following a family whose lives are forever changed by the death of the matriarch of the family, Orquídea, and she leaves them all with a blessing, and they're all very different, but as they are living their lives after the passing of her, a figure is slowly but surely hunting all of them down. So this family has to come together in order to deal with this mysterious thing that's coming after them, but also deal with the after effects of the grief that they all feel and how they are grieving in different ways. The novel is about what we knowingly and unknowingly inherit from our ancestors, the ties that bind, and reclaiming our power. It is such a wonderful novel if you are also Latinx and you want to read about the generational trauma and how we all deal with the death of family members in different ways. And I listened to it on audiobook, and I'm really happy I now have a copy to add to my collection. Now we're going into books I have not read yet, but I am so excited to read. And the first one is Funny You Should Ask, and this was gifted to me by Random House when they were celebrating some romance novels that they published last year. And I picked this up because my friend Jessica recommended it and really loved it. And then also I was on TikTok when Andrew Garfield was interviewed by that chicken shop girl, and their flirting was so effortless and wonderful, and I couldn't stop watching their interview. And everyone who was commenting on the videos recommended reading this book if you want that same type of vibe between a reporter and a celebrity just flirting with each other relentlessly. At the end of the synopsis, it says, alternating between Chani and Gabe's first meeting and their reunion a decade later, this deliciously irresistible novel will have you hanging on until the last word. That's all I need to know. I don't really mind celebrity romances, so I am excited to read this and just fall in love with it. The next novel was also given to me by Atria when they were giving away a couple of novels towards the end of the year to celebrate the holiday season, and they gave me a copy of You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty by Ikweke Emezi, and I am so excited for this book because I've heard nothing but good things about it, and it just simply says it is a witty and seductive novel about a young woman seeking joy while healing from loss. It says Ikweke Emezi's vivid and passionate writing takes us deep into a world of possibility and healing, and the constant bravery of choosing love against all odds. I love a book about grief because I haven't read a novel where a woman is grieving her husband, so I'm really keen to dive into her mind and see how she processes that grief and also moves on from it. And people have told me that this is a 5 out of 5 star read, and I wholeheartedly believe them. Another book that Random House has gifted me that I am so excited to read because it's one of my most anticipated reads of 2023 is Spare by Prince Harry. Spare is a memoir that I have been eagerly anticipating for such a long time. The moment I heard the title announced, I just let out a breath because it spoke so much about the royal family and his relationship to it, and I'm just excited to learn more about his experience. I have it on hold for my library on audiobook, but I was talking to my friend Hannah and she said it felt a bit disjointed because it is told through vignettes, so it felt very scattered listening to it, so I think I might read it physically one day, but this is on my nonfiction TBR for 2023. Look at my little Star Wars mug. It has the Mandalorian, it has Grogu, it's for Navarro. I got it at Disney World. I love it. The last book in this book haul is from a Barnes & Noble that was having a 25% off sale because they were going out of business. They weren't necessarily like closing down the Barnes & Noble, they're just relocating because the location was too big and they needed to downsize, so they were getting rid of a lot of books, and I picked up A Caribbean Heiress in Paris, and this is a book that again a lot of people told me that they really enjoyed, and I want to get into historical romance. I keep on trying to read historical romance and they don't really jive with me. I don't know what it is about it that I just don't really enjoy. I do find them a bit slow, but a lot of people I trust have really enjoyed this historical romance, so I do want to give it a shot, especially because it's by a Caribbean author. So we follow our main character Luz, who is from the Dominican Republic, and she is going to the City of Lights, Paris, to expand her rum business. Then we follow James, who has spent a decade looking for purpose outside of his father's dirty money and dirtier dealings. So Luz is having trouble with her business because people don't take her seriously as a woman and as a woman of color, and she needs to find someone to marry for people to take her seriously. So when she meets James, they strike up a deal, a marriage of convenience, and they start to fall in love with each other, and I'm excited for this. So that was the book haul, and now let's get into a little movie haul that I'm very excited about. And during that 25% off sale in Barnes & Noble, I also got something that is movie related, and it is the Get Out screenplay. The Get Out screenplay is really tiny and I really do enjoy it. It's like a little pocket book, but it's also really cool because it does have shots from the movie and a little bit of extra content as well, like deleted scenes. So I love screenplays. I've been collecting them for a couple of years now, and I do want to expand that collection, and I'm excited to be able to expand it with Get Out because I do want to read the screenplay and see the direction that Jordan Peele put into the script itself, and also see the deleted scenes that didn't make it into the movie. And let me know if you want me to do a screenplay collection tour because I would love to do that. Maybe when I get a couple of more screenplays so it's a little bit more robust, but let me know if you're interested in that. And the next thing that I have to show that is movie related was gifted to me by one of my best friends. They went to a thrift store in New York City and came across this and got it for me, and I am so so happy about it, and it is the box set for Casablanca. So Casablanca is one of my favorite movies of all time, and this is a collector's edition box set that I am so happy about. I actually have a reel showing the insides of this box, which I will link down below if you want to follow me over on Instagram. But it includes 3 discs about Casablanca along with commentary, behind the scenes stuff, which I am so excited to watch. Then we have a photo book for Casablanca along with some quotes from the movie and some photographs, and it is absolutely beautiful. And then we have some collectible posters from Casablanca that they used to market the movie. They are absolutely beautiful. I am so happy that my friend came across this collector's edition. I love Casablanca so much, and I am so happy to have so many collector's items for this movie. I think it is so beautiful and wonderful, and it's in a beautiful little box set. If you want to see more details about this, go check out that reel that I posted on Instagram. But thank you so much to my friend Mark for gifting this to me. The movie haul was a bit short, but I did wanted to show those 2 items that I got that I'm very excited about to expand my movie merch collection. And now let's get into things that I thrifted. We're putting the plaid back on for this portion of the video because this is also thrifted. So in the thrift haul, I have a lot of things that I got during my trip to Cape May. We went thrifting in a bunch of different places when I went down there, and it was a great time because I found so many things that I've been looking for months, and they were all at a really good price, along with a couple of things that I didn't really need. So let's get into the thrift haul now. So the first thing that I want to show you is the cutest thing ever, and it is 2 salt and pepper shakers, but they are little bears. I saw them in a thrift store and walked away from them, and I was walking through the thrift store and I thought, if I leave these 2 bears behind, I'm going to cry. I need them in my life. I'm probably not going to use them as salt and pepper shakers because I don't need to right now, but I am using them right now as decor for my shelves. They are so cute, they are so adorable, and I had to take them home with me because they just left an impression on me. So I'm really happy that I was able to get these, and I think they were like $5 for both of them. Then in the same thrift store, I got a thick brown jacket for $55. I have been looking for a brown jacket to wear for maybe like 2 years, and they are expensive. Online, they go for like $200 to $500, and I just cannot justify spending that much money on a jacket that isn't a puffy winter jacket, because I do think those are a higher quality and they do keep you warmer than jackets like these. So I didn't want to spend $200 on a jacket. So when I came across this, I knew I had to get it. It is such a steal because it is $55 and it is from Nine West, and it fits me perfectly and I love it, and it keeps me so warm, and it matches my earth tone aesthetic that I'm going for, and I know I'm going to wear this for years upon years. Another jacket that I thrifted was from Goodwill, and it was, I think, $10, and it's this beautiful plaid blazer that you have seen in a previous video of mine, but I love it. I have been looking for an oversized blazer that I can wear with jeans or I can dress up, and I haven't found a pattern that I really enjoyed. So when I came across this, I was so happy with it, and it is also featured in an outfit reel that I created over on Instagram, and I love it. It matches my aesthetic as well. It's earth toned and it just really complements my wardrobe, and I'm really happy I found it for $10. Another thing I found for $10 that is the pièce de resistance is this beautiful, what I call a Diana revenge dress. My dad came across it when we were thrifting in Cape May, and it is a beautiful dress that just kind of hangs on your shoulders, and it has a beautiful back detailing, and it is black velvet. Where will I wear this? I don't know. I don't get invited to galas, I don't get invited to these really fancy events. I guess if I ever had a husband and he cheated on me and I needed to do a quick trip of revenge over at an event that he is also attending, and I needed to look hotter than him, I could wear this dress to that event. But I'm keeping it in my closet. It was definitely worth the money, and it is a beautiful, classy dress that is timeless, and I am so, so happy that I found it, and it was only $10. Those are all the things that I recently hauled. I got a lot of books that I'm really excited about that I want to focus on in 2023 because I'm really focusing on my physical TBR. I got a new screenplay to add to my collection, and I got a beautiful box set for one of my favorite movies, along with some really classic classic, timeless pieces that I thrifted in thrift stores. I'm very happy with this haul. Let me know if you've read any of these books, if you also collect screenplays, or if you have a favorite thrifted item that I showed you. If you want to follow me anywhere else on social media, all my links are down below. And if you have made it this far in the video, either leave a green heart emoji or answer this question. What have you recently acquired, whether it be a book, a movie, or something that you have thrifted? I would love to know down below. And if you've stayed this far in the video, thank you so much for watching it in its entirety and spending your time with me, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye!